JFrog curation. What is JFrog curation? Well, in the previous sessions, we talked about X-ray, the continuous scanning for security vulnerability, malicious intent, license compliant, operational risk, software bill of materials. We also talked about advanced security, which brings contextual analysis, advanced secret detection, application exposures, service exposures, infrastructure as code analysis, and also static code analysis. So what is curation? Well, curation is a way for me, as I envision it, as being like a firewall for your organization, where X-ray evaluates any of the binaries as they come into your organization and they're stored in Artifactory, and that's where all the evaluation takes place. Curation is more like a set of rules, creating a bunch of firewall rules where you can do the following. You can block packages before they even enter your organization. You can provide audit trails on anything that was requested externally that was blocked by the curation product. It could also automate the idea of a policy-based open source curation, meaning that you can go ahead and write policies to say you want specific things or you don't want specific things based on age, based on licensing, based on versions or vulnerabilities. You can also create a CVE filter so you can reduce the risk of potentially bringing any potential components in. We talked about the fact that there's direct and indirect transitive dependencies. In most cases, the indirect transitive dependencies is the actual more cause of the problem. This allows you to write CVE filtering rules to make sure that CVE is a specific type, like critical or high, don't enter your organization, adding an extra layer of protection preemptively. And also, too, since we are a CNA, it also provides a series of comprehensive research for the package selection when you are going through using our catalog approach. And the thing is that when you look at this, what is the benefits of it? So first of all, it's a centralized visibility and control, meaning that those third-party free and open source packages, you can go ahead and write rules to block them. You can also gain more confidence by having those preemptive rules and blocking those malicious and unwanted packages preemptively allows you to set the stage for having a security-first culture. Also, things like advanced third-party vetting, making sure that the components that the developers are using are trusted and are from a trusted source. And just improving the overall DevSecOps experience and also real cost savings because you're preemptively stopping the ability for consumption before it even gets into your organization. It's like setting up, like I said, like a firewall or a castle wall with a moat, whatever you want to say. Basically, it's a way to keep the bad things out without even entering your org. And if you look at it in terms of the software development lifecycle, it's we have shift left where the developer is, where it is your comprehensive foot soldier doing the job that they're doing. This is beforehand. This is lefter than left or pre-shift left, where you can write those rules in curation for those publicly open source package repositories of certain types. And we look at the curation process to the developer when they say they go out and they get those third-party transitive dependencies from those remote repositories or virtual repositories. The curation policies allow you to approve or disapprove. And we even have dry run functionality where if you want to test to see if your rules are up to spec, this allows you to dry run to make sure that, those components that I'm looking for, this is more around the way the policy should be designed. In addition to that, with the curation and administration, they can work in conjunction with the security team, the legal teams, and whatnot, and go ahead and add and create those policies in one simple location. And they can also have the appropriate actions take place, whether they block it, whether they allow it, whether they can put it into like an escrow, get notifications in things like Slack and other ones because we have the ability to post this functionality, and they can control what comes into the org in a very fine granular means. And if you look at this, the big thing about it is you have all these third-party transitive dependencies out in the world, and what curation does, it allows companies to accelerate what they do by only using trusted packages and source. It also means less time for remediation and faster delivery because you're preemptively stopping it as soon, instead of finding it somewhere downstream in your software development lifecycle. This allows you to preemptively do it beforehand, making it easier for organizations to stay more safe, more secure, more compliant. And some examples of this, there's the usual kind of direct one where developers are developing the Artifactory instance, or the JFrog platform instance, either hosted by us or hosted by themselves. This is our standard practice. Software developers are building, or CI tools are building, and they're pulling those third-party transit dependencies from those sources. Like I said, this allows curation to be a way for you to make everything more aware to Artifactory. So this way, you understand what's being pulled in, what's not being pulled in. It also provides continuous security because it's like a firewall. It's always there. It's always ready to protect you before those potentially malicious and nefarious things get into your org. Or if you're in a regulated industry where people have things like air gapping, or they have a DMZ where they have a lot of processes. Well, the problem is with a lot of those different kind of situations where you do have your regulations where air gapping, or there's a procedural process where the developer has to request the libraries to get vetted by a security team somewhere, and then they finally get the approval, they get the libraries they need, and they're safe. All it does is delay development. The faster you get your software out there, the better. And the thing is, we have air gapping solutions. We have a lot of customers where we are, we are part of like Iron Bank and Platform One, where this is a very big thing. But there's also a lot of other industries too where this is a major problem. And what this does is this allows companies to expedite or increase the velocity of their organization by actually making it so the security elements can focus on particular issues as opposed to vetting out libraries, direct and indirect, for their developers, which takes time and effort when they could be spending more time tracing, doing root cause analysis, or finding things that need to be addressed in terms of security. And with our security tool sets, it gives them the tools to do this. But what this also does, this allows companies to go in and create this firewall so they can have their developers have that freedom, that flexibility to do their job more expediently, increasing the velocity of an organization while still ensuring reputable security and the ability to curate those components from the third-party sources more safely, more securely, and have the auditability to audit all the pieces on when they were brought in. Once again, adding another layer where security admins can go in and look and say, I can review the audit log instead of having to monitor every single transaction that my developers are having, so I can focus on the other potential threats that might be out there. So having curation allows companies to have a preemptive way to block free and open source packages from entering their organization in a more safe, compliant, and audible manner. Thank you.